Oh, Paulina is writing something. Oh, something about Berlin. She found some hostel. Alex, we need to check this out. Oh, another friend. He got married. Like I don't already have enough pressure. Are you guys waiting for me to say something? Okay, I'm sorry.
Put the phone down.
Exactly. I have this very bad habit of using my phone all the time. I'm addicted to Facebook. Sometimes so much addicted that I don't know what is going on around me. My friends are sitting there telling me their stories and I'm just watching something on Facebook, not paying any attention to them. But on some rare occasions, I put my phone down and I listen to what they are saying. So a few years ago, my very dear friend Ola, she was telling me about her travels, about her hitchhiking trip to Balkans. And on her way there, she stopped for one night in Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. She decided to camp there. She was standing on the bank of the river. It was a very beautiful summer evening, and she was just admiring the view, that city's view that was visible from the river. And then she noticed that there is an old couple just standing a few meters away from her. She smiled at them. They smiled at her. She went to them, and she started talking. And that couple had a very interesting story. They were both Germans in their late 60s, and they looked like hippies as if they have been transported from 1960s, taken out from there and put into 21st century. They dressed like that, they walked like that, they talked like that. They had kids who had all grown up, got married and had settled, so they decided that they will do something different with their life. They became missionaries, went to India, spent about 10, 11 years there, just traveling around India and the surrounding areas, spreading the message of God. But then they got tired of it, and they decided that maybe this is not what they are supposed to do, but still, they stopped being missionaries, but they still kept traveling without any earthly material at all. They didn't believe in money. They had no phones. They had very limited clothes, very few things. And just like that, they were just traveling around the world and somehow getting by. I have no idea how they were getting their food, for example. But my friend was so happy to meet them because she thought that she met her spiritual friends. This is the kind of lifestyle that she would like to someday live. And they were also very happy to talk to her and hearing about her travel. So they offered that maybe she would like to stay where they are staying on the side of the bank. So she put her tent right next to them. Then they offered her a meal. Then they offered her some tea. And she had a very nice conversation with them. And the next day, she asked them to take a picture. But they said no. They don't believe any of those things, so they didn't even let her take any picture. But she had to travel further. So she said to them goodbye. But since they had no phone, no address, nothing to communicate with, she knew that this is her one and only meeting with them. But it was a significant experience for her, which she decided to tell me. Few years later, another of my very nice friend, he's from Pakistan, his name is Sami. He told me about another interesting encounter. He said that in this summer, during the month of Ramadan, when he was fasting and was very hungry and was desperately waiting for the sunset so that he can finally eat, he wanted to pass some time. So he went to the market square in Wroclove. He was watching some street performance there when he noticed an old couple in hippie clothes standing there. And after the performance, he went to them and started talking. Couple were Germans, spent some time in India, being missionaries, traveling around Europe and all over the world, had no phone, no address, nothing like that. And that day they had no meal. And he told them, guys, I'm hungry. In 15 minutes it will be sunset and I plan to eat in this Pizza Hut because I don't like to cook. Would you maybe like to join with me? And they accepted. So he took them. They had a very nice meal in Pizza Hut. They talked about different things. And after this dinner, they went their separate way, and he knew he will never meet them again. But it was an interesting experience for him, so he told me. And while he was talking, I had this very strange feeling that somehow I have heard this story before. And then I realized, oh, maybe my friend Ola and Sami met the same couple. So I arranged a meeting between them. I asked them to share their encounter with each other. And as they were telling their stories to each other, I noticed that their smiles are just getting bigger and bigger, and they have very nice kind of glow on their faces because they know that they shared an interesting experience. And while I was the medium with which they knew this, I was also part of that. And I was thinking, oh my God, how many coincidences had to happen for us three of us to be sitting here right now? My friend Ola, she didn't use any phone on that day, was not distracted, but actually smiled and went to talk to a few people. My other friend Sami, who could have passed his time in any other way, for example watching a YouTube video, decided instead to go to the market square and watch some street performance, and then we'll talk with people. And on top of that, both of them thought it to be so significant that they told me about it. Life. I thought to myself, how many such kind of experience we miss when we are looking at our screens, like I do. If I hadn't been listening to my friends, I wouldn't know how this would have happened. And this is what I take away from this. This strange feeling that all of us are somehow connected in some weird way, but still we feel that we are getting further and further apart. And I think the reason is that we need to put our phones down, we need to put our screens down, and actually talk to the people. And who knows, maybe we'll find some very, very interesting and sometimes weird coincidences and connections between people. Thank you.